Speak of Michael Johnson, 6-foot junior. He's the only player right now averaging in double figures at 10. Christian Webster at about 7. Jack Turner at 7.5. But they're not as deep maybe as you think they might be. We're kind of waiting to see if a couple of their players might develop here as the season goes along. But the bottom line is not a ton of size, but a lot of quickness.
Absolutely, and again, those stats can be a little skewed for two reasons. One, it's early in the year. A lot of these kids are new to varsity. There could be, some nervousness, some yips. Your first game was against your arch rival, Barry Meridian, and your second game was against Ben Davis, who's got the best defense in the state. So your numbers aren't going to be what they are going to be, and as these kids just play basketball, let alone take the coaching they're going to get, there's going to be a lot better as the year goes on.
And again, with the new system, it takes a little bit of time to get used to doing that as well.
That's a great point too, Troy. Absolutely.
All right, tell you what, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Marauders. And again, as you said, some high expectations for this team. Only one senior on the roster, but this is a very young, talented team. We'll talk about the Marauders next, right here on IndianaSRN.
To you. Standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Back here in Mount Vernon, great to have you with us for our high school game of the week. And this is a Marauders team. Probably got a little bit of a late start, Christoph, because of football. And they had a nice run in football. And so they lose their quarterback in football, who's really maybe their best player on the basketball floor, at least one of them. So they're having to play without Luke Ertl for a while. But they end up losing that first game because they turned the ball over 23 times.
And still were able to manage 52 points with 23 turnovers. And certainly I know that's something they're going to work on, especially with the high-quality level guards they have. That shouldn't be happening. But, again, first game of the year on the road against a good team. These type of things can happen. So I certainly think with Mount Vernon, they're still young. People forget that. They're still young because they were good last year and they had a lot of young kids play. But, Ertl and Smith and Wells, they're still only sophomores.
Yeah.
And with Ertl being out and he'll be back in late January, it's going to take some time to adjust to that as well.
Yeah, Ertl last year averaged nearly 14 points per game, 7 rebounds, and almost 4 assists. So they'll have to find a way to fill that hole. But they still had Julian Smith, Armani Wells. Both those guys had 15 points in that loss to Lawrence Central. And then you put in Teschendorf and Parra, they had 10 each. So I don't feel too sorry for them right now. I'm sure that Southport doesn't either, right, at this point.
No, Southport's obviously going to come out here and look to, try to get those 23 turnovers duplicated again.
Yeah, no doubt.
No, Romani Wells, I think, is going to be a kid that maybe is a little under the radar. IUP-wise already offered him. But this is a kid that has tremendous upside, tremendous athleticism. I think he's got a chance to be a very good player. And you'll see his skill set and his production grow as the year goes on.
This was, by the way, going back to that loss to Lawrence Central, which was at Lawrence Central. They were down by 9.5. Then they ended up leading by a point at halftime. And their coach said, Coach Bradburn said, we had some very unfortunate turnovers at the wrong time because they trailed by 7 with 1:13 to go. And then with 8.4 to go, they're only down by 1. Had another turnover, otherwise they had a chance to win that game.
And again, those are the little victories you try to take when you're coaching. You went on the road. Obviously, you want to win the game, but you played a quality opponent. You did not play well, and yet you still had a chance to win the basketball game. Those are things you can take, and then when you get into February into March, you can look back on that and say, hey, how much better have we gotten? This was a learning experience we could have that's going to help us in the IHSAA state tournament.
I got to ask you, though, as a coach, when you're playing so many young kids? How patient can you be? I know, again, very early in the year, there's experience on the floor, but again, when you talk about an age process, a lot of young kids.
No, absolutely, and you know, that's a key word. What do they say? Patience is a virtue, right, Troy?
Yeah.
So I think when you're in the coaching business, regardless of whether your team's young or not, having that virtue of being patient is extremely important. And I think you'll start to see, you know, they say the biggest leaps you make are, you know, first, second, third game. And I think you'll maybe see that tonight. And I think if you're Mount Vernon, you know, you want to come out and stick it to Southport early.
All right, let's give you an idea. Early in the season, the AP poll came out this week. Fishers is number 1 in 4A, Brownsburg, Center Grove, Lawrence North, and Ben Davis, your top 5. Not a big surprise there. In 3A, Northwood is number 1. We'll be on the road at Guerin Catholic tomorrow. We'll see them in person, followed by Scottsburg, Brebeuf, and Mishawaka Marion. In 2A, Fort Wayne Blackhawk, followed by Brownstown, Central, Wapahani, Linton, Stockton, and Gary 21st Century. And then in single A, it's Bloomfield, Lagodi, Orleans, Lutheran, and Greenwood Christian. I know AP polls are AP polls, but bottom line is nothing really too surprising this early.
No, and Mount Vernon, a concern for them tonight, they're at number 1 Fishers tomorrow, who's absolutely loaded. You know, their neighboring school districts, they don't want to look over the Southport Cardinals tonight. They need to come out and play well.
Tell you what we'll do when we come back in just a few moments. We'll have those starting lineups, and we'll get this one tipped off here tonight. Should be a good one. 2 very young, 2 very athletic teams. I'm sure we're going to see a couple of surprises here and there, no doubt about it, but it should be a good non-conference matchup here tonight at Mount Vernon High School. We'll come back with all of that in a moment right here on Indiana SRN.
Again, good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to Mount Vernon High School for tonight's varsity basketball matchup featuring the visiting Southport Cardinals and your Mount Vernon Marauders. At this time, we ask you to please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the play of our.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Indiana SRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Back here at Mount Vernon, good crowd on hand here tonight for this Friday night matchup. Both teams, by the way, as you heard earlier, will play again coming up tomorrow. Southport at 1-1 on the season. Let's go downstairs and our public address announcer for tonight's starting lineups.
Number 4, John Rudolph. Number 5, Iman Cousins. Number 13, Samuel Mullen. And number 21, Donovan Brewer. Now, the starters for the Cardinals starting tonight at guard, a 6'1" junior, number 0, Michael Johnson. At guard, a 5'10" junior, number 2, Christian Lester. At guard, a 5'10" senior, number 10, Caleb Wolfslinger. At forward, a 6'4" junior, number 24, Jack Turner. And at forward, a 6'7" sophomore, number 55, James Kalala. The Cardinals are coached by Bill Zinn. Now, Marauder fans on your feet and make some noise. Watching 2023-24 now. sophomore, number 23,
Well, there you have the starters for both teams, Mount Vernon and Southport. All right, Christoph, give me your thoughts on this one. What are the keys for both these teams?
Well, Southport, come out quick. Get that bad taste out of your mouth. You only scored 38 points against Ben Davis. Come out, get a good start, get some quick baskets, and get a little lead on the road here to give yourself some confidence. If you're Mount Vernon, vice versa. Go down. Southport might be a little shaken. You're at home. First home game of the year. You want to come out. You want to score quickly, give yourself a lead, and see if you can't blow it open.
By the way, James Kalala will get the start tonight for the Cardinals. He's only played in one game. He's a 6'6" transfer out of North Carolina, so we'll see how he adjusts getting the start here tonight. So the Marauders will get the basketball first. I'm still in football mode.
We're adjusted, right.
Yeah, I haven't quite got to the basketball mode yet. Marauders, again, will count on a very young basketball team. Nice drive. The kick out and the three by Wells is missed. The offensive rebound by Smith. He'll bring it back out. Here's Fitzgerald for three. That's no good. Ball tipped in the corner and last touched by Parra and out of bounds. So get those nerves out early, right?
No doubt. Get a couple threes up, a second chance opportunity. It's a good start for Mount Vernon. Those are looks you know you can make and knock down.
First home game and a good crowd here tonight for the Marauders. Southport basketball for the first time. Michael Johnson leads the team in scoring at 10 points per game. That was a deep three and missed there by Woolsiffer. Not shy about shooting that one, was he?
No, that was a college range three right there with a hand in his face.
You don't get a feel for the offense first. Just fire up a three.
Right.
There's another miss the other way, as Parra can't get it to go on the first rebound by Kalala.
3 possessions, 3 3-point shots. It's the way of the game now, and that's going to be a big factor in this one.
All right, do you like that way of the game, or would you rather see a little more post play?
Well, I was a shooter. I love it.
Yeah. We got a foul on the 3-point shot. That'll be called against number 22, which is Tanner Teschendorf, and that'll be his first, and we will go to the line for 3. Here's Jack Turner.
Obviously, in basketball terminology, that's what you call a cardinal sin. You never want to foul a guy shooting a three-pointer and give him 3 free throws.
Funny you say that, but I see that a lot.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, sometimes kids, you're so used to, you know, falling forward when you're blocking a shot, you don't realize how far out you are, and you end up knocking the guy over, hitting him on the arm.
And
jump straight, not forward. Right?
And then as a coach, you say something to him, right?
That's right.
Second free throw is good. Turner, by the way, averaging 7.5 points, 5.5 rebounds per game. And we got our first points of the night. There is only 2 seniors on the squad for Southport. We mentioned just 1 senior on the team for Mount Vernon. And again, if you joined us, Luke Ertl is not playing out until late January because of the football injury. Strong drive, the kick inside, and the layup is good. First points on the board tonight. That'll be Teschendorf.
That's a nice set right there. We've seen Mount Vernon now a couple times use a 1-4 high set to set their stuff up. Julian Smith read that well, attacked, made a play happen.
You know, we watch a JV game with, I think, a lot of interest, and I like the movement that Mount Vernon had on offense.
Oh, absolutely. You can tell Coach has been putting his system in, and it's tough to defend.
Near steal. Here's Webster. Tries to feed underneath to Kalala, and it goes out of bounds. Turnover by Southport.
Good defensive possession by Mount Vernon right there. Made Southport uncomfortable and ended up getting the turnover.
Mentioned Southport. Bill Zick in his first year, but 470 wins in 37 years. That's a lot of bus rides.
That's a lot of bus rides. That's a lot of winning.
Basket is good at the other end of the floor by Armani Wells, and he'll go to the line for 1.
And there you've seen we're about 2 minutes into this game, and Armani Wells has shot a 3, and he slashed the basket and got an and one there. He can play a lot of positions. He's very hard to guard on the court, very active.
And you can see with this whole year, 2 more years to develop, why you would be interested in him at the next level.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if he can develop a consistent three-pointer, look out.
Kalala, by the way, picked up the foul.
A little soft pressure here from Mount Vernon back into man-to-man.
Kalala sets the high screen. Mount Vernon plays very good defense. Going to be tough to score on them tonight. Here's a three. That's off the back of the iron, and Kalala can't save it from going out of bounds off the miss by Turner.
And again, I know it's early. We're in the game here. Southport is settling for a three every possession, that or a turnover. I believe that's what the Mount Vernon's counter report and defense is hoping for.
You know, I got to ask you, though, when the game is so perimeter that when you see a player like Kalala, 6'6", 6'7", as the ball's knocked out of bounds by Johnson, you don't see many bigs anymore playing with their back to the basket, do you?
It's very rare. Part of it is not taught much, and passing into the post isn't taught very much anymore. It's just a very rare thing. But that's a great point, Troy.
Well, I just think about some of the players I broadcast their games last year playing to the next level, and I very rarely saw them down on the block.
No, it's a lost art. It's a lost art, that's for sure.
Nice head fake in the lane, shot short, goes out of bounds. Teschendorf, I thought he drew some contact right there, but the official didn't see it, so ball goes out of bounds to go to Southport.
Mount Vernon is doing a great job early. Every time they run something, they're getting a look off of it.
So it'll be Cardinals basketball, trying to get things going here offensively. Just 2 points, both on free throws here in the opening period of play. The drive, the pull-up by Johnson, and it's good. Michael Johnson, he's a junior. He averages 10 per game.
That's a tough shot, and if you're Mount Vernon, you're going to live with that. If they're going to hit that all night, you'll tip your cap.
Three is missed at the top of the key, and we got a rebounding foul as Parra can't get it to go. Foul will go against Mount Vernon, and I think they got Julian Smith on his first.
Probably not what Coach Bradburn wanted there, just, a high ball screen, contested three right there.
Well, we'll maybe put that up to nerves because you're in front of your
That's
home
right.
crowd for the first time this year. Now, when we get into the second quarter, we don't want to hear
We don't want to hear that. That's right. That's right.
Ball is out of bounds here on the near side, but Teschendorf just picked up his second, so he's going to come out of the ball game. You see Charlie Cross come in, number 4, and also checking in will be Aiden Daugherty, a 6'3" junior, which I understand you have a special guest coming up at halftime.
That's right. It'll be his father, Coach Travis Daugherty, former coach here.
That's a nice rebound, put back good by Turner. He has 4.
Turner's been very active both inside and out. I like his game. He's a glue guy for Southport.
So I'm hoping everybody stays and listens because they got 2 coaches talking there. It'll be an interesting conversation. Southport leads it by 1. A little more patient in this possession right here.
Absolutely, and that's the way they're going to play it. And
nice drive. A little too strong on the shot that time by Parra. And we are quickly back the other way. Here's Johnson in the corner. Shot on the way, three-pointer short by Turner.
Turner not bashful on that one. That was a good look, though. He was open. He was set.
Here's a 3. It's no good, so Mount Vernon continues to struggle as Wells can't get it to go. Cardinals chance to take the lead. That 3's way off the mark, but we got a foul underneath, and I think they're going to get 24 Turner. Let's wait. Oh, they're going to say it's actually Kalala.
Kalala, yeah. It looked like he got Ramani Wells on the neck or on the arms, threw him a little bit. Good job by Wells getting position on the block out.
You can do that in North Carolina, but I bet you can't do it in Indiana, right?
That's right.
So now we would consider this a so far low-scoring opening quarter. Each team going to its bench. We'll see Southport get another player coming in a few moments. That ball was lost out of the hands of Smith. A turnover, and then Kalala back the other way running the floor. Basket good. He'll go to the line.
That was a good aggressive take by Kalala. He was determined on that one. Got the steal, went coast to coast. Nobody wanted to get in front of that freight train. Hacked in, reached him, got an and one out of it.
We mentioned this is a transfer, and he didn't play in game 1. He did play in game 2, got a point and 5 rebounds, so he's still getting acclimated.
Absolutely, and he's a big, strong kid, and he had some nice skill on that play right there. He might have a chance here.
Wells with a rebound off the miss. 3-point lead now for Southport. Strong drive down the lane, the feed, and the turnover. 2 turnovers in a row. That time Smith unable to hold on to it. Drive baseline by Webster. The kick out, the three on the way. Rims in and out by Turner. And we're going to get a 30-second timeout right here. Want to remind you tonight's game is brought to you in part by Officially Human. Want to thank today's officials for their dedication and hard work. Without them, we don't play. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Sportsmanship is everyone's job. Your thoughts early? We've seen some missed shots, couple of turnovers each way, but just things haven't rolled as smooth as they had hoped at this point.
Right. I think it's why Coach Bradburn, got a 30-second time out there, calm his kids down a little bit. You've seen Smith and Parra be very aggressive. They've had a couple turnovers. They've missed some layups, a little bit too much oomph on it, on those shots, but they're very capable of making those. I think coaches want to calm down, run their offense. Everything will come to them.
Into the lineup now for Southport will be number 21, Donovan Brewer, a 6'5 junior. He has already been nominated to the all-hair team. If I had his hair, I wouldn't be wearing this hat all the time, huh? Get to be my age, you wish. Down to 2 minutes plus here in this opening period. Also in the lineup will be Tyler Davis for Mount Vernon. The three no good by Parra, and we have a rebounding foul called against 24. That's going to be Jack Turner.
And again, Parra got another good look there. Again, a shot he can make. And these will fall, but it's just a little early. Still the nerves are working on Mount Vernon right now.
By the way, Tyler Davis wearing number 32 for Mount Vernon. He is a 6'5 junior. Mount Vernon again playing without Luke Ertl. So their lineup a little bit different. Drive, a lot of contact in the lane. Nearly losing it, and the three-pointer good in the corner by Parra after the near turnover by Wells.
And Parra's not bashful. That was a good look. I like the fact that the kid has that much confidence. He knows he can make that shot. He was wide open in the corner, stepped into it, knocked it down.
So we're tied at 8. 90 seconds coming up here in this opening period of play. By the way, out of the lineup is Kalala with the 2 fouls, so they'll miss some size there. This is Turner. Crowd getting into it. We got the student section right in front of us. That'll be a double dribble turnover there by Nyland Compton.
This is the second time in this game Mount Vernon has played just good, solid defense, and both times it's led Southport to a turnover when they made them hold it for more than 20, 25 seconds. They can keep that up. It could be a problem for the Cardinals.
Just saw moments ago that three-point made by Parra to tie this ball game. This is the kind of movement we are used to seeing from Mount Vernon. Pull-up jumper, left-hand shot, good by Daugherty.
Really good play there. You can tell he's a coach's kid.
Yeah.
Nice pump fake, one dribble pull-up.
I want to ask you, when you get coach up here, ask him about those left-handers. They're so smooth.
They got the sweet stroke, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never, ever forgive my mom for not making me left-handed. Is that something you're born with, or is that just something you learn?
I don't know.
Kick out, three-pointer on the way, is way off the mark by Brewer, his first shot.
Well, again, and Southport is settling, I guess you could say, for these three-pointers, and it's playing right into Mount Vernon's hands.
Well, right now, it looks like the Marauders will play for one to finish out this low-scoring opening quarter. That's Parra, guarded there by Webster. Nice roll to the basket, left hand in and out on the shot, no good by Daugherty. And yet we've got a foul call after the rebound.
Tyler Davis made a great hustle play, didn't give up on that play, stayed in it, got his nose in there, and he's going to the free throw line. But really good pass by Wells there. Daugherty will finish that as the year goes on. That was a tough angle, had a guy on him, and just didn't quite get the roll.
A couple of changes in the lineup now. One of those players that is coming out for Southport will be Webster. Inbound with 1.1.
Got to protect the basket here.
Yeah, they can get a look here, but it goes out of bounds, and they will say time runs out here in the opening period of play. After one, Mount Vernon leads it by 2.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe. If you're looking for great food for breakfast or lunch, make sure you check out Tam's. By the way, they specialize in baked goods. They have daily specials. They're open Wednesday through Sunday, 8 until 2. Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe, 6427 Oakland Road in Indianapolis. All right, I know it was low scoring, opening quarter, but I think we're going to see things pick up now in period number 2.
Yeah, the nerves should be out. Two talented teams, and when you have athletes and speed on the floor, that can get to points pretty quick.
You know, it's interesting when you think, well, listen, these two teams are young, but they've got some guys who played a lot of basketball, but you're in two new systems. It's going to take a little time.
That's a great point, too.
Lean in, shot missed by Johnson, put back no. Johnson gets it again and then blocked out of bounds by Davis.
Good job there on the chest ups and walls by Mount Vernon. Johnson's a good player. Those shots will fall for him and get a little bit stronger, too. He's a nice player. He's going to be able to score a lot of points this year.
So it will be Southport basketball off the inbound. Nyland Compton out front, working it there is in the lineup will be Jai Rudolph. He wears number 4. Rudolph is a 5'11 senior. He's the only, or should say, 2 seniors in the lineup. That's a shot missed by Compton.
Good job there by Smith, not fouling right there.
So now Mount Vernon takes over. Marauders had really gotten much more patient in their offensive sets after a rocky start. They're going to work it down low. Here's Davis. Jump hook, no. Gets the offensive rebound, put back, yes.
It's a good play. It's a double staggered. Shooter came off. They jumped on it. He was able to throw it down to Davis. Davis stuck with it and finished it.
I think they got par for a foul in the backcourt. That'll be Elijah's first. You know, how nice is it to be one of these two coaches and know that you have such a young team that you're going to have them for the next couple of years?
It really gives you a chance to mold them. And sometimes it feels like you're playing with house money. I don't know if the fans will say that, but as a coach, you can feel like you're playing with house money when you know you'll have returners for years to come.
I kind of like that. Southport down by 4. It seems like it's been a while since they've scored. Johnson nowhere to go. Brady Fitzgerald playing good defense for Mount Vernon. Rudolph, off-balance shot, and he can't get the roll there, but it'll stay here off of Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon is doing a good job guarding the initial action by Southport, and what's happened is Southport, after they run it, they get stagnant, and then they settle for shots like that, which plays right into Mount Vernon's hands. Obviously, the Marauders got to finish that possession, but really good job defensively by Mount Vernon here this whole game, really.
And I got to maybe even take that a step further, Coach, is that a lot of times you see players do stand and watch. They kind of see it to go, I'll just stay right here, no movement. Into the backcourt, wisely picked up by Turner. Well, at this stage, we might get to 50. Turner fires and misses. Offensive rebound, put back, no. And Compton can't get it to go. We've got another rebound. It may go against Turner. It's his second. 2 players now with 2.
Well, Turner had a smaller guy on him, got it in the post and faded away. Coach Zick's talking to him right now saying, hey, you need to go up with that, man. Don't fade away. You got the little guy. Go finish on him.
Yeah, read that size advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we'll see another player come in for the Cardinals. Still a 4-point lead. Only 2 points combined so far in the quarter. Three-pointer up and good. And there's Brady Fitzgerald.
That's a great job by Julian Smith, tracking defenders, throwing out to the open shooter. Mount Vernon has some really nice pieces around these guards.
Rudolph for three. One and done, and a rebound by Fitzgerald. Now, one thing, you don't want to get too far behind here.
No, that's probably not the shot Coach Zick wanted right there.
Mount Vernon leading it by 7. That is the biggest lead of the night.
Good patience here.
I was going to say that very thing. Yeah, good patience. Now we got a foul call away from the basketball. Rudolph will pick up his first. Take another look at that three. Good stroke.
Yep. Troy, you kind of said it. Right now, Southport, and they're going to call a timeout. They're in a bit of a danger zone. They haven't scored in a while. They're pressing on both ends. Just let the game come to them.
Mount Vernon leads it by 7.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Don't miss a beat this holiday season. IndianaSRN has your soundtrack covered. Let the festive tunes fill your home with warmth and joy. Go to IndianaSRN.org. Click on music 24/7. As long as we don't hear Keith singing or anything, we'll be fine. All right, after the timeout, Mount Vernon trying to build on the lead here in period number 2. The drive hanging in the air off the glass and good. Julian Smith, his first 2.
We've seen them run that set before, and they got a post touch off it. This time Southport guarded it. They used a different option, and Smith finished the play. Nice job by Mount Vernon.
Boy, Smith hung in the air, too.
He did.
We talked about his athleticism in the pregame. This is Webster. Webster, he'll pull up for 3. Can't get that to go, and they continue to struggle here in the second.
And that's just not it. The Cardinals are just looking around at the guy handling the basketball, and he's just taking a shot.
And now everything falling the other way. Julian Smith has 2 quick buckets, and we've got another timeout on the floor to be a full timeout. Mount Vernon extending their lead to 11.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there is just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Boilermaker Local 374. They can offer you a career as an iron shipbuilder, blacksmith, or general helper. For more information, contact the International Brotherhood of Boilermakers, 219-845-1065. Christoph, 2 quick timeouts now by Southport. They're just trying to keep this thing within striking distance.
They've got to get a good shot here. They got to run some offense and get a good look here to get a basket and get their confidence going.
Sam Lloyd is in, a 6'5 sophomore now for Southport. The drive and the kick in the corner, nothing there for Brewer. Good defense here by Mount Vernon. Then somebody got caught underneath, out of position. Layup good by Lloyd.
And there you go. We've seen Southport dribble. That time the ball swung 2 or 3 times, went on both sides of the court. Mount Vernon had to rotate, which opens things up.
It
Much
took
better
them
possession.
nearly 4 minutes to score, though.
Got to
could
get
be
more
big.
of that. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So now Mount Vernon with a 9-point lead. Both teams staying with the man-to-man. Here's a 16-footer on the way, good, and Julian Smith, 6 in the quarter.
But he's a good player. He's going to get going. You talked about it earlier. He rises and he gets up on that jump shot. That is hard to block. It's hard to defend, and he's very good at making that mid-range.
So now Southport, can the answer? They've been outscored 11-2 in the quarter. Skip pass, nothing there. Again for Woolsiffer. He'll get it back, driving the lane, off the mark. Rebound pulled away underneath the basket by Riker. Bears in the ball game. Baseline drive, dunk. Armani Wells.
And there you see Julian Smith score 6 in a row. The defense runs at him, and he finds his stepbrother there and is able to dump it off to him for a dunk.
Armani Wells now with 5. Lead now 13. Nowhere to go here for Compton. He'll drive and a foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
Nice job by Compton there, recognizing Wells was a little bit out of position. He was able to drive, get his body into him, and get to the free throw line.
Yeah, take a look at this. You mentioned 2 guys came right at him and left him open. That's smart play.
That's what Wells is known for there. He is an athlete, man. He'll get up and finish those.
Here's Compton at the line for the first time. Averages 5.5 points per game, and he will miss the first of 2. Darty is back in now for Mount Vernon, and Michael Johnson, who averages 10 per game, has come in. He has only 2.
Mount Vernon's done a really good job following the scouting report tonight. That's for sure, Troy. I mean, they've limited Johnson's field goal attempts, and the guys they want to shoot are shooting the ball.
Well, he missed them both as Southport remains very cold in this first half. Nice drive with the left hand. Drawing the foul will be Armani Wells, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Good job by Wells there, getting his body into a smaller guy. Webster had no choice but to foul him there.
Webster will pick up number 1 for Southport. That will be their 3rd. Only 3 fouls for Southport, 2 by Mount Vernon. Again, everything resets every quarter this year. Do you like that rule?
You know, it's different. It's more of an NBA vibe. I think I'm more of a traditionalist. I like the 1-on-1 at 7, but hey,
they didn't.
It is what it is. They didn't ask me.
Didn't ask me either. Yeah. I'm still waiting to get that shot clock implemented.
Yeah, right.
Second free throw.
Don't
good.
hold your breath on that. Yeah.
I'm not. They better hurry. I'm getting old. I'm not going to hold that much longer, 15-point lead now for Mount Vernon. It was a 2-point lead for Mount Vernon at the end of the first quarter. Pull-up jumpers no good by Webster. And another one and done.
And that is what every coach wants, a contested deep 2. That is the lowest percentage shot in basketball. And when you're playing D, that's what you want.
3rd turnover now for Mount Vernon. They're going to have to get Johnson going here pretty soon before the end of this first half. Here's Compton, back to Johnson. Johnson down the lane, scoop shot, no, and a foul called by the underneath official, and will go to the line for 2.
Johnson covered some ground on that after he picked his dribble up. He did not travel either. That was a good move. He really did a good job using big steps, getting up and finishing, and getting to the free throw line.
Fouls on Fitzgerald, that'll be his first. And here is Michael Johnson at the line, gets the first. Mentioned averaging 10 points per game, the only player in double figures in the first 2 games. Second free throw is good.
And that's how you get yourself going to the free throw line. He hasn't got many field goal attempts or many good looks, but he's able to draw contact and get some shots with no duress on him.
Way out front is Fitzgerald. Wells will give it up now to Smith at the elbow. Smith kind of clearing everybody out, now takes that screen. The kick out, here's Wells, way short.
When we talked about, that's something he's got to keep improving on, is his three-point shooting. He's over 3 today. But that'll get better as he gets older and as he keeps working.
Southport. Here's Compton in the lane. Kicks it off now to Webster. Takes it baseline strong, and a foul call on the pass.
Troy, 3 of these last 4 possessions, we've seen Southport get downhill after they moved the ball once or twice to make that defense move, and it's led to fouls. It's just good offense, and it leads to their, what they are. They're athletic, they're fast, they're skilled. That helps them, and that's what they need to do to stay in this ball game.
60 seconds remaining as Johnson looking for an opening. Can't find one against Fitzgerald. Kicks it out for 3. That's not close either. Off the miss there by Compton. I mean, they've had maybe one go in and out. The rest of them haven't been close.
No.
Yeah, but that drive, the miss. Good effort there by Smith.
And that's a play Julian Smith will finish as this year goes on. That's a good take. Went in traffic there, tried to go up and finish it. He's a good player. He'll make that adjustment.
Turnover for Southport, only their 3rd. One thing for sure, Webster threw a fastball at Lloyd, and Lloyd's hands weren't ready, were they?
No, that was a hot one to handle there.
Well, maybe Webster was trying to be Nolan Ryan there for a moment. So now Mount Vernon another chance. They had the basketball at the end of the first quarter. They'll hold it here if they possibly can. Near steal out front by Johnson. A lot of quick on quick here.
No doubt about it. I think Mount Vernon's going to get the shot they want here.
The drive to the baseline.
Good defense.
And what happened? The defender just left him all by himself, and Smith nailed it.
He cut him off and then got lost, and he did. And that's 4 mid-range jump shots by Julian Smith. He's got 8 points of their 25 off those alone.
Southport managing just 4 points, 1 basket in that second quarter, and that's why they're down by 13.
Yeah, that's against anyone you're going to struggle to be in games when you score 1 basket a quarter, but certainly a team against Mount Vernon, who has some offensive prowess. You cannot have 4-minute droughts or score 2 points in a quarter.
Here's the end of this one. Watch out, the defender Johnson just went all the way down out of bounds basically, and ended up leaving Smith wide open. Smith, by the way, with 8. 7 points by Wells in the first half. Parra with 3. Teschendorf with 2. Darty with 2. Fitzgerald with 3. Davis finishing with 2. That's the scoring for Mount Vernon. On the other side, Michael Johnson with 4. 2 points by Lloyd. 4 by Turner. And Kalala had 2, but he ended up with those 2 fouls and sat on the bench the rest of the way. So I know we'll talk about this second half coming up in a few moments, but they got to find a way now. Southport somehow come out strong in the third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to need to, and they need to go on a quick run to stay in this game. The goal is get it within 10 points. Win the third quarter so you have a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter. Be within striking distance.
And by the way, Southport outscored by Mount Vernon 17-4 in that second quarter. We'll come back. Halftime is upon us. Mount Vernon leads it 27-12.
And the half-court shot will be ticket number 241-853. 241-853. Again, if these are your ticket numbers, please go to the north end of the gym under the Marauders.
My students definitely inspire me. I love my job. I love the light bulb moments. I love being that caretaker and caregiver for other people's children all day long.
I've noticed that a lot of kids are really nervous and anxious about doing everything perfect. And I think that when they really get to know me and I get to know them, I can help them understand that just being their self is right. As long as they believe in themselves and are confident in themselves, then their schoolwork shines.
What distinguishes Mount Vernon Community School Corporation? Our students are proof of the high-quality academics and exceptional dynamic teachers. Mount Vernon schools are among the top districts in the state, with our 4-star schools and an A-rated district. But it's more than that. Mount Vernon schools are known for instilling core values that inspire excellence, build character, and support others.
Mount Vernon is a place where hard work and big dreams equal amazing accomplishments. We are a growing school district in the heart of Indiana, and we provide our students with exemplary academics in a blended learning environment. Through a multitude of opportunities and a safe learning environment, we inspire a love of learning in our students so that they can thrive as adults. I believe all students deserve to learn at high levels, and for us to accomplish that vision, we must meet the needs of the whole child. Our one-to-one environment helps to provide enriching educational projects that challenge students. As a matter of fact, our district was one of the first in the state to be kindergarten through grade 12 STEM certified. Mount Vernon Community School Corporation provides high-quality academics, arts, and athletics.
My education at Mount Vernon Middle School has been outstanding because the teachers are just so amazing and they know exactly what they're teaching and they know how to cater to every student's needs.
I love how many clubs and activities we have. There's always like another club that makes you feel like you belong there and like you have a place in this school.
Every person can come to Mount Vernon Middle School and get a good education.
你们喜欢吃什么?
Our teachers inspire students with a passion for learning, nurturing their growth in innovative, progressive ways.
I don't care how good you are, I want you to try your best at this. And as long as you try your best, there's a good chance that they're going to succeed in what they're doing in that day. So I always say, just do your best.
I feel here at Mount Vernon, we have an increased rigor that some students might not be used to. But that's what they're going to see in high school, that's what they're going to see in college, that's what they're going to expect to see in the workforce.
Together as a Mount Vernon family, we provide positive experiences to challenge and develop each child to their fullest potential.
All three of my children have graduated, they have all received scholarships. And the teachers, they go out of their way to make sure that the young people are well prepared, starting from kindergarten level. This is a community, we're a family, we're all here to work together.
Our students thrive, strive, and succeed because at Mount Vernon Schools, we engage, educate, and empower. It's what we believe. It's what we do for all our students.
Discover Mount Vernon, where teachers are focused on one thing, your child.
We are Mount Vernon Schools!
Welcome back to Mount Vernon here. Christoph Kendrick here with former Mount Vernon, Bishop Chatard, and Tipton head coach Travis Doherty. Coach Doherty now has a couple kids in the program, which we'll talk about. But Coach, welcome and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Coach, man. Great to see you. Always a pleasure when our paths cross.
Absolutely, absolutely. As we come back here, I was a little bit surprised to see you, but not that surprised considering your connection to the community. But it's good to see you, have some sons out here. And we were sitting watching the JV game, and there was this little guy out there, just going to work looking like a little Pistol Pete. And lo and behold, it was your son.
Yeah, it's been a fun kind of transition for me, the last 5 years or so out of coaching into some other work professionally, but has given me a great opportunity to be really involved in my boys' development and their progression as players, and fun to be able to show up on game night and just be dad and be a fan and enjoy, really the heart of Indiana high school basketball, which, runs deep in my family, and obviously, this connection to the Mount Vernon community remains strong for me and my family.
Absolutely. And Coach, you've coached some really good players. You've coached some really good teams, won 3 sectionals, and certainly every time you got to that regional round, you played some guys that knew how to play ball a little bit and might still be playing professionally somewhere.
Yeah.
But with all that said, all that success you had, certainly going from Tipton and then Chatard, one of the things that you did here, you took over when Mount Vernon moved up to 4A. You're one of the smallest schools in 4A, and you guys won a sectional here. You're the first one to win a 4A sectional. I know that's certainly something you're proud of.
Yeah, it is for sure. This has been a really unique time here at Mount Vernon. When I came in, it was our first year in 4A, and that's a major transition. I think moving up a class in any class is a big deal, but when you move from 3A to 4A, it not only changes the dynamic of your schedule and your postseason path, but I think it really challenges your mentality. Like you got to embrace that you are now on the same level playing field as some of the real powerhouses of Indiana high school basketball, especially in the Indy metro area. So, I was really proud of our time here. I think we continued to build the program. Steve Lynch, who was here before me, is now at Brownsburg, was a fantastic coach and really, continued the strong tradition of Mount Vernon basketball. I was certainly fortunate to be a part of it, and the program has only continued to excel in the time since I've stepped aside. So, again, a fun time to be a part of this program with my boys here, and certainly excited for the future of the program as well.
No, absolutely, as you should be, obviously with 2 kids in the program. But just as a basketball fan, really an Indiana high school athletics fan, Mount Vernon, community here is just growing. And we see it on the wall with some state championships, kids going Division I in multiple sports, kids playing all kinds of levels of college sports. It's really one of the fastest growing communities in central Indiana, and certainly in terms of population, but also in how well their sports teams are performing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, our school leadership from, Brooke Tharp is our principal, Brandon Ecker is an outstanding athletic director, and I think, those people really set the tone for not only the school culture but the athletic culture here. And, we're one of those unique schools in the 4A level who still have a community feel.
Yes, absolutely.
And, I think that's a unique dynamic that we've used to our advantage. And it's a fun time to see our community continue to grow and our athletic teams excel.
Awesome. Again, Coach Travis Doherty. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Coach.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Back here at Mount Vernon. See your halftime score, 27-12. Talk about what you think is going to happen here to begin. I think beginning a half is so important, especially when you're down by 15.
Oh, absolutely. Southport needs to come out quick. They got to find a way to score the basketball. They've only given up 27 points, which against any team, but especially a team like this, you got to be happy about. But you got to find a way to be able to score the basketball and run your sets. And if you're Mount Vernon, keep putting the pressure on. Your level picked up. You had 17 second quarter points. Keep going with it.
See, the Marauders have the basketball to begin this third quarter. Quickly moving in the corner. Parr for 3, missed it. And the rebound pulled down by Kalala. They're going to run the fast break and turn it over. 4th turnover. Quickly back the other way, leaning in, missing the shot, but a rebound after Teschendorf can't get it to go, and a rebound by Smith.
Well, Mount Vernon seems to be a little bit all over the floor here, and Southport can't seem to figure it out. Great job by Mount Vernon just to get out hustling and get that loose ball and draw a foul.
Webster picks up number 2. Smith will find Teschendorf. Quick ball movement inside to Parr. Got trapped on the double team. Wide open in the corner for 3, and good is Fitzgerald.
Well, Southport looked like change it up. Baseline out of bounds there, went in a little zone action, and Fitzgerald's not going to miss that shot.
Lead now at 18. This is Michael Johnson. Really struggling to get some points on the board, but just about everybody is right now for Southport. Everything out on the perimeter. You have Kalala at about 6'7", trying to post up down low, and that's going to be a foul call. Haven't seen that much. They're going to get Fitzgerald for number 2.
Well, Troy, kind of like you said earlier, we just saw it there. They did a traditional back to the basket post up and threw it in there and drew a foul.
I was getting excited. That's like a mid-range jumper for me.
Yeah.
Seems like anymore everything's either a drive or a three-pointer. Spinning with the basketball is Turner. A reverse shot there missed by Webster, and probably should have taken it the first time.
And Mount Vernon is in every gap. They're getting a hand, they're stunting, recovering, sometimes getting deflections and steals. They're everywhere right now.
There's the 4th turnover by Mount Vernon. And then it's the giving season as it was turned over back the other way, but we're going to stay right here.
Well, Southport, I think right now is just struggling to find an identity. And we're seeing it play out live. And Mount Vernon's not a team you want to be, when you're trying to find yourself, you want to be playing.
Pull-up shot on the way short is Compton. Running the floor is Para as he spins with a basketball, lost it out of bounds. That'll be their 5th turnover.
The game's got a little helter-skelter here by both teams. You tend to see this when you're dealing with 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, and the game is going one way or the other. Both teams need to calm down and play. In Mount Vernon's case, play to the strengths that got them this league.
You know, speaking of that, as you see Johnson on the drive, we got a foul. When these players play that AAU circuit, a lot of it, and I know you've seen it yourself, it does get a little helter-skelter. Do you have to reel them back in as a coach, depending on what system they're in?
It can, and there's different various levels of AAU and the way the games can be. There's some blowouts, there's other really competitive games. When you play this much as these kids do, when you play games this much, it can become an issue because one game you're getting blown out, one game you're blowing somebody out, or the next it can be close. And so, yeah, that's a great point, Troy. It's when you play this many games, kids tend to get numb.
You know, there's always going to be that argument, too, that Indianapolis Star had a story this week about football and high school football, and some of the concerns were just maybe playing too much.
Yeah.
A lot of players specialize in one sport.
Especially at the big school levels. It's almost, I wouldn't say a necessity. I hate it. But it's a lot of things that kids do.
Baseline shot, good. There is Julian Smith. He is now double figures with 10.
Again, that was a deeper mid-range, but he is just really, really good. That is his shot, when he can do 1 or 2 dribbles and pull up on you.
Boy, near turnover there by Compton. Kalala. And what do we got here? Foul call against Mount Vernon. Looks like that'll be 21 Fitzgerald. Here is Julian again.
You see there, 1 dribble pull up, gets in rhythm, knocks it in.
3rd turnover, I should say, foul we mentioned by Fitzgerald as the ball's knocked out of bounds, and that'll bring Tyler Davis into the lineup.
I'll tell you what, Davis and Fitzgerald complement each other pretty well. Davis can make a shot, but he's more of a banger. And then Fitzgerald can really step out and bring your 5 men out to guard you. You can knock that 3 down.
Well, they get a little bigger here with Davis at about 6'5". This is Johnson with the basketball from 17. No. Battle for the rebound. Falls into the hands of Para.
And again, that's a shot Johnson can make. Like I said earlier, I think he's a good player. I think he's going to have a good year. Just a little bit rough tonight.
Off that high screen. Here's Smith. Yes.
He's going to be a kid they're going to have to change up how they're guarding because now he's feeling himself. He's in the zone. Now that was a 3 on that one. But again, 1 or 2 dribble pull-up going to his left.
So 13 now. The three-pointer back the other way. Too hard by Turner. Long rebound. As Parra slows it down. Nice pass inside. And the layup good by Davis. I'll tell you what, Kalala was coming, though.
Great. Yeah, he was. That was a great pass right there on a fast break to finish.
Timeout on the floor. Southport down 36-13.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, We can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Back here at Mount Vernon, another timeout for the Cardinals as they trail it big time now here in the third. The offense just has not been there tonight for the Cardinals.
No, it hasn't, Troy. And see what they're going to try to run coming out, getting Johnson going downhill off a ball screen. Good, well defended by Mount Vernon.
Boy, getting caught in the lane is Webster, and we've got a 3-second call. You can't spin all that time and not get a 3-second call.
And Julian Smith has really stepped his game up in the second quarter into the second half here. That was a really good defense on that DH, on that dribble handoff. He stayed in front of Webster, didn't give him an option, got a 3-second call.
That'll be the 5th turnover unofficially for Southport. By the way, they did call that Julian Smith bucket a 2, so he has 12. Into the lineup now will be Riker Bear for Mount Vernon. Shot fake drive, left hand off the glass, no good. Ball knocked out of bounds off the miss by Daugherty.
Mount Vernon has done a really good job with different options off that set where the guard comes off a double staggered there, and then they're going to a high-low on that. They've done 3 or 4 different options and gotten good looks off it every time.
So here is Johnson, still just a single field goal up until that one right there by Johnson.
And that's a tough shot, but he's a good player. He's capable of making that. And again, like we said, he made that to start the game. If that's what you're going to rely on in your Mount Vernon, you're going to tip your cap, and it's worked out in the Marauders' favor.
Johnson with 3 points in the quarter. Smith getting trapped. Pass inside. Wells, nice touch.
Good pass there. Defender turned his head. Wells went behind him, was able to get in the open area. Good pass to finish.
Here's Johnson again for 3. And a foul call may get Kalala.
I think you're right, Troy.
Yep.
Yep. I love his aggressiveness, but he's got to find a way not to foul. He's got to be on the floor for these guys.
Yeah, if he can develop, give you a 6'6", 6'7" post kid that can help you down the road here, it'd be
absolutely
big. A lot of contact here out front by Rudolph. Tell you what, Julian Smith handled that pretty well.
He did. Rudolph did a great job defending, not using his hands, moved his feet. See if he can stay disciplined. Yep.
Yeah, Rudolph's going to get that a little bit too aggressive.
The second I said that, he put his arm in there and got a foul.
Well, now you got to kind of watch because I think Rudolph was getting a little bit too aggressive with Smith away from the ball too.
Absolutely. I think he's wanting to shut his water off.
Well, Rudolph better be careful. He's going to end up getting that spigot going a little bit more. We've got another timeout on the floor. It'll be a 30-second timeout on this one.
Hey, Indiana. Let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group. They're building better futures one story at a time. They have locations in Indianapolis, Zionsville, Anderson, Columbus, and Lafayette. For more information, give them a call at 317-472-7600.
Good timeout by Coach Bradburn there. Things were getting a little physical. You want to put them away at the end of the third quarter here. Make this a 25, 30-point lead, not the other way.
Well, Smith, strong drive, missed it. Ball goes out of bounds, last touch by the Cardinals.
and I think that's why Coach called that timeout. Rudolph was really getting in him. Smith kind of took it personal. I think Coach wanted to get something else out of that, and Smith said, I'm going anyways.
And then again, you got to keep your composure in that too a little bit, right?
Absolutely. And then now you see he's taking him to the bench. But, you know, you'd rather coach that down than have to coach that up.
And then you watch Para and Rudolph, a little hand juggling going on out there too. See, I tell you what, as an official, I know a lot of times that ball comes loose. Nice pass underneath, and then Wells lost it going up. It'll be Cards basketball. A lot of times officials, you lay that hand on, they're going to get you.
Automatic, right?
So I guess you kind of feel it out until you get that call. How about the offensive foul the other way on Johnson?
I did not see Doherty standing there. I thought Wells blocked the shot. I thought they called a foul on it.
I did too.
But 2 good plays by Wells after he got beat to recover and block it. Use athleticism, and great job by Doherty stepping over. I tell you, Mount Vernon, Coach Bradburn's done a great job with these guys defensively. They are in every passing lane when they need to be, and they rotate very well defensively to cut people off.
I would agree, because after watching it, and we saw them a lot last year, I think they are much better defensively. And I know that Southport's missed some shots, but they've been forced to throw up some shots they probably didn't want.
Absolutely.
Para got fouled on that one, no whistle.
Good footwork.
How about Kalala? Look out.
Hey. We've seen Kalala do that twice now, get the defensive rebound and go down a straight line like he's going down a straight rope, go down and finish.
Kalala with 4. Well, you can tell, and again, I think he's just a sophomore. They can get him for the next couple of years. It'd be pretty good.
Absolutely. Keep developing in him. Double-double for you every night.
Wells on the drive over Kalala, and Kalala with a rebound. He's off to the run again. Lead pass will find Turner. Turner misses. Kalala, the putback, no, but he'll go to the line for 2.
Troy, that's a great job by Kalala there. He comes down, he gets the rebound. You know, he makes a really tough pass that only a guard can make to his teammate. He doesn't stop playing. He continues on the play, gets the offensive rebound after the miss, and goes up, and he's going to get 2 free throws. Great motor he has.
That'll be on Doherty. By the way, after Kalala, well, they have to work on the free throw. After Kalala dunked that last one, the ball bounced way out that way. You got to really, that's putting it down with authority,
That's right.
Coach.
That's right. Stop the other team from fast break.
That's right. Okay, so he shoots a free throw like Wilt Chamberlain, but that's something else he can work on. Still a 21-point lead. A lot of time on the clock here for Mount Vernon. They're going to take it strong with the left hand, and the miss by Doherty. Rebound put back no by Davis. How about that? Another rebound and a kick out for threes. No good by Para. And a fight for the basketball underneath. Kalala along with Wells, and you love to see that right there. Both teams fighting for the ball.
And this is going to give Southport the ball on a possession they should have had it anyways because of a defensive rebound after 2 or 3 shots. What that did, that hustle by Wells, you get a tie-up. Now it's your ball to start the 4th quarter. That's one of those little things in the game that goes unnoticed that Mount Vernon's hustle all game has rewarded them with.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So Wells will come out. Good hustle. Getting that ball and the tie-up by Kalala. Chance here for Southport. And a turnover. Well, that's a costly turnover by Webster.
Oh, good job by Riley Bear. First minutes of the game, I think he comes in and makes an impact right away on the defensive end.
Smith off to Doherty, back to Smith. See the clock checking down, and there's Rudolph again, guarding very close out front. Seems to me, and I was going to say, there's no doubt about that one right there.
He rode him a little bit there.
Yeah, he rode him like Seattle Slew. You got to kind of got to back off a little bit and you know, move those feet.
And these will all be teaching points for Coach Zick tomorrow. You know, you've got the guy way out, almost at half court, and you bail him out with a foul, and it's in the penalty.
Yeah.
So now they get 2 free shots.
Well, if you don't know the new rule in basketball, again, once you get to the 5, you shoot 2, and then you clear the board for the next quarter.
That's right.
I've often said, and we talked about it earlier, when I become emperor and I change the rules, we'll have the shot clock in here 45 seconds.
That's right. That's right.
Kalala, coast to coast. Kalala misses it with the left hand. Rebound by Davis. He goes to the floor. Shot at the buzzer's off the mark. And a lot of contact here at the end of the third, but Mount Vernon in control, 40-17.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Piper Logistics. They specialize in everything from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. 3 service, 1 solution. They do it all. For further information, give them a call at 317-396-1023. If you're Southport now, you're just trying to make something positive in the last 8 minutes of this ball game. If you're Mount Vernon, maybe clean a couple of things up on the turnovers and such. Handle the physicality of the game right now and pick up your first win.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're Southport, you're down 23, 8 minutes left. A lot of things have happened.
Yep.
Now you want to come out and see if this first 2 minutes you can make a run. If not, certainly a lot of things you can keep working on. And there's one right there. That's both on the passer and the receiver. Catch it in the backcourt, but make sure you throw it back there for him too. That'll be good for the clip tape.
You might would have liked maybe Smith to come to the ball a little more, right? I mean,
that's true too.
Might help.
Yep.
So that is only the 6th turnover. Each team was 6. We don't know what Southport is shooting tonight, but it's got to be well under 30%. Shots way off the mark there by Rudolph.
And that might be why right there.
Yeah.
But again, great help side rotation, getting the wall up, making him shoot over a 6'5" guy.
By the way, Southport, they will be on the road, or I should say back home against Bloomington South on December the 8th. Nice cut, basket good. Smith continues to add to his totals.
Great backdoor by Smith. Mount Vernon just running their offense.
Mount Vernon goes to #1 Fishers tomorrow.
That's going to be an interesting game, too, because, Fishers has a lot of younger guys as well, and especially 2 really good young guards. But they got a lot of talent. They got a lot of athletes. Even without Jalen Harrelson going the wall in there, Fishers is one of the favorites to win 4A.
Southport really having a difficult time here, even getting a look. Kalala posting up down low, draws the double team, the kick out. Ball reversal. 3-pointer is no good as Woolsiffer can't get it to fall. They have not hit a 3-pointer. I mean, everything they've shot is missed from 3.
And they've shot a lot of them.
They have.
Yeah.
Well, they're 0 for something. We didn't keep the shooting statistics here tonight, but they have not hit a 3 all night long. Boy, that's a travel underneath there by Teschendorf. Take a look at Smith here. Great cut.
Yeah, sets his man up, goes up and finishes.
Coming up on the 6-minute mark, and Southport down by 2 at the end of 1. They've only scored 9 points combined in the last 2 quarters. Kalala, triple teamed. He split that triple team, and on his way up, he gets fouled.
Well, that was a good little set there. Kowal got his back to the basket. Man, he does post hard, too. He really drives, tries to find position, get deep. And 3 guys surrounded him, made a quick move and got fouled. He's going to the line.
Yeah, you can kind of tell his offensive skills are pretty raw, aren't they?
Absolutely. You said something about Wilt Chamberlain shooting free throws earlier. Let's see if he lives up to that again.
Oh, yes.
That one looked better, though.
Yes.
That one looked better. But this kid has a chance to be a player. Like you said, sophomore, just moved in. Southport has a good staff. They'll work with him. And he should be pretty good by the time the season ends.
It was missed, but he had a violation anyway. So Mount Vernon will get it back. Cardinals are going to press a little bit right here.
Well, and even if this doesn't get you back in the game, it's still a good chance to see, what does it look like? Because you can use it on later in the year. Looks like just choking him back into man.
Teschendorf, the drive, the kick, nice ball movement, wide open par for 3, in and out. Rebound battled for, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson. And by the way, Smith went hard to the floor, and looks like he's okay.
That possession summed up the game. They did a great job, driving down the lane and then throwing it to the open man when the defense rotated, and then boom, extra pass, got a wide open 3. Not only he doesn't make it, but then Mount Vernon gets the ball first and gets it back.
By the way, that last foul on Mount Vernon was Tyler Davis at the other end of the floor. Para gets hammered right there. They may get Rudolph. Rudolph may not score tonight, but he's got 4 fouls.
Right. He's earning his day today.
He is. I'll get in the stat sheet somehow. That's what Keith Myers used to do. He'd never score, but he'd always foul. So.
But you're in the book.
You're in the book. That's all he cared about. Nice head fake. Got the defender in the air, and Smith lays it in. And then on the inbound, foul call on Para.
You can see Julian Smith's basketball IQ is very good, too. He uses an array of moves, pump fakes, good footwork to finish around and outside away from the basket as well.
Well, he could feel Johnson coming behind him right there and just let him fly on by.
That's absolutely right, Troy. Yep.
Here's Johnson from about 16. He knew he missed it. Para, should say Kalala going for the rebound, but you could tell he missed it from the very beginning. That'll be a travel on Para.
Well, he got away with rolling him up on that ball screen there, giving him that wide open shot. But, again, like we talked about earlier, I think Johnson's going to get a chance to be pretty good. He looks like he can really score, just having a tough night tonight.
And I'm sure it's a little frustrating. You come off that loss in your last game, and now you're just can't get the offense rolling. But it'll always be a learning tool, right?
Always. And Coach Zick will be able to take this and do a lot with this film.
Johnson leans in and scores. 5 in the second half, 9 for the ball game for Johnson. Kalala trying to be Oscar Robertson out front and get a steal right there, but unfortunately reached in. That'll be number 4.
Yeah, he's gotten some tough fouls tonight, just making plays he doesn't need to make and gambling or being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's something he'll learn as he plays more.
Yeah, especially a foul that far away from the basket, right?
Right.
I'm not bringing up too many old names, am I, that people would go, who is that?
I mean, you're going Big O and Wilt Chamberlain. This guy's going to be the best basketball player ever by the time it's all said and done. I love it. I'm an old school guy.
There you go. Thank you. Para trapped out front, able to get rid of it. Teschendorf drives to the baseline, then turns it over. 9 now, and then a return gift. And the two-handed dunk at the other end by Teschendorf.
And that kind of sums up the game right there. Great hustle, great effort by Mount Vernon. They make a mistake, they don't pout, they get it back. Finishes with a dunk.
Good move here by Rudolph. He can't finish. The rebound put back, no, by Kalala. And it goes out of bounds. Taking a look at the dunk.
Yep, great steal by Parham, and even better pass, look ahead,
yeah.
And right on the money. Maybe he could be Ertl's backup in football, too.
Say. Yeah, they were looking for one for sure after Ertl got hurt. 4 minutes remaining. Pace of the game slowed down a little bit here in the fourth. The one thing you say, well, how long do you leave your starters in or your main guys playing as Para shoots and misses? But you've got some conditioning still to do, game conditioning.
That's a great point, Trey. You got conditioning, and it's a lesson in lead maintenance. How are you going to play? You want to see your guys play when the game's in hand and they're up big. Are they going to deviate from what you're asking them to do, or are they going to go out and do what they've done to get them the lead?
Another missed three by Rudolph, and Kalala able to get the basketball. Rudolph driving on the baseline, and we've got a foul call.
Man, Koala plays hard.
Yeah.
Koala plays hard.
Yeah, you're just hoping that when you can get him a little more under control. But again, we talked about being a little bit raw. It'll be fun to see him in a couple of years.
Absolutely.
But you never know anymore if anybody stays at a certain school. You kind of keep an eye on him. Yeah. There's another turnover. 2-on-1 break the other way. Easy layup by Teschendorf.
Teschendorf's put together a nice game tonight as well. I think he had 2 quick fouls earlier, so we didn't get to see him much in the first half. But he's a nice player.
Wells, the drive and the dunk. How about that one?
That's a heck of an athletic play. Southport needs to keep playing. They didn't really challenge him on that. Wells smelled blood like a shark in the water and went and finished it.
Air ball 3 by Rudolph. I think at this stage I wouldn't shoot another 3. Do you? I mean, I'm an 0 for tonight.
Yeah.
This is not working.
Yeah, it's time to go a different way, I think.
Look at this. Kalala knew he couldn't challenge it, otherwise he'd be on the bench with another foul.
Yep.
So, well, the Marauders are going to get their first win of the season.
In a convincing fashion, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Great way to open the home slate. Nice crowd, and you got a certainly a huge game tomorrow night too.
Yeah, you got to think about at this stage. Make sure your legs are ready to go for that one, because now you go back on the road. So, by the way, Sebastian Sprague is in, a 6-foot sophomore, number 24 now for Mount Vernon. Fitzgerald will stay in. Looks like Daugherty is in. We have a number 30 on the floor, but I don't see a number 30 on my roster unless that's Max Weiss, a freshman. It might be him, a 6'4 freshman. He looks 6'4 to me.
He does. I think you might be right on that one. Good size for a freshman there. Yeah, he wasn't in the book.
Yep. That'll do it. That'll get you a little free throw action here by Wolciffer.
Well, Troy, you said something earlier. Southport, they got Bloomington South, Greenfield Central, and Bloomington North coming up, so things don't get any easier for them. Granted, all those will be at home, but obviously J.R. Holmes at South, winningest coach all time, and Greenfield Central's got Braxton Mullins, Braylon Mullins, who's pretty darn good and top 100 player in the nation, and then Bloomington North has some very good young talent as well and is always well coached. So Southport's, there's no rest for the weary with them.
Well, they'll be battle tested by the time we get to the end of the year,
That's right? That's right.
We're just trying to get through this one here tonight. Back in the lineup will be Donovan Brewer now for the Cardinals. Webster got caught in the lane, the kick out. Wolciffer misses the 3. I hope we get some stats sometime soon on this game on the 3, because I don't know that I can remember that many threes and all the misses.
Oh, I know it. I think you're right about that.
Left hand, nice move there by Daugherty.
Well, it's good to see these Mount Vernon kids having fun. They've earned it tonight. They really played hard, and now you get to see the bench clear. And Daugherty's been a big part of the win, still in the game.
Yeah, that was a heck of a move after the miss there by Turner. I mean, not only thinking going right hand, knew a player was coming, switched to the left hand.
Right. Savvy lefties, Troy. You said it, man. They know how to play.
They do. You can't trust them, but they know how to play. So. I've always said this, and Jerry knows this. He's a left-hander, our producer. There's only like 2% of them left anyway. Them and redheads.
Them and redheads. There you go.
Here's a 3. That one will miss by Cross. Webster pushes it up now to Turner. 3-pointer, no. I know it sounds like a broken record. People saying, you've said that a lot tonight, but they just haven't made any.
Oh, it's true. It's true. Mount Vernon will have some conference action, 3 conference games in a row, Pendleton Heights, Shelbyville, and Newcastle before they have a holiday tournament against Plainfield. So, again, some teams that'll be familiar with them, and certainly you want to get off to a good start in your league.
Boy, Mount Vernon's in a very, very tough sectional, too. There's a lot of teams in their sectional that are going to be really good at the end of the year.
Oh, there's no question. Sectional 9's tough. Muncie Central's greatly improved. Anderson's always good. Mount Vernon's going to have their work cut out for them. And Richmond has a bona fide Division I player as well. So it's not going to be the schedule's really going to prepare them for that postseason.
Yeah, Richmond had a young man just commit to Butler. Contact underneath, nothing there, but Fitzgerald lays it in. And Richmond has a couple of juniors over there that are pretty good too.
Yep.
A lot of size.
Mm-hmm.
Under 30 here in this one. That'll be turnover number 9. Mount Vernon wisely just hold it out, run out the rest of the clock.
Great win for the Marauders opening their home season here, held the team to 21 points. You know, I don't think you can ask for anything much better than that, but I'm sure as Coach Bradburn, like we all are, is going to be critical and look for something to keep working on. So,
yeah, you don't want him to get too comfortable thinking, you know, because bottom line, you want him to know there's more to work on.
And there's no rest. There's no rest for the Warriors, as I said earlier. Quick turnaround at Fisher's tomorrow night.
Yeah, they'll have to be ready. Film session, I'm sure, in the morning, and then a little shoot around, and they get ready for that. But overall, I think you saw, again, even for Southport, if they can figure out a couple of things on offense, like you said earlier, they kind of settled for some threes here tonight.
Yep.
If they can get those to fall, that's great. But if not, they got to have a backup plan.
Absolutely, and I think with the new system and as time goes on, and not just a new system, but so many new players.
Yeah.
You know, as they get acclimated with Coach Zig and what he wants them to do, and they get more just game experience, they'll be able to improve. The schedule's not overbearing. There's teams they can beat on there, and there's teams they can be very competitive with on there. And, again, you just want to be playing your best basketball in March and let the chips fall and see what happens.
Leading scorer for Southport tonight, Michael Johnson finished with 9 on the other side. Julian Smith at 18. Got off to a slow start, but had a good second quarter. Finished again with 18. Armani Wells with 11, 8 points tonight by Brady Fitzgerald. Saw a lot of players playing. Again, they're playing without one of their better players in Luke Ertl. So imagine what they're going to be like when they get him back in the lineup.
Mount Vernon has a chance to be very good. They have a chance to make a deep run in the 4A state tournament. This season, this regular season, especially without Ertl, Coach Bradburn can use this as a positive because now more guys get playing time. And also it gives everyone a more advanced role. So when Luke comes back, you know, they'll be more of a complete team. And they'll be very, despite their youth, they'll be very dangerous in March because they play really good defense and they've got 3 or 4 guys that can really score.
Yeah.
And it seemed to me like tonight they're complementary pieces. Those guys knew their roles, they accepted their roles, and they played them to the highest level. And that makes the team very dangerous.
Before I let you go, though, it's going to be a fun year, isn't it? We got a lot of good teams to watch.
Absolutely. A lot of great teams. We'll be back at Mount Vernon again. We'll be together at Guerin tomorrow, who's one of the better teams in 3A.
I'll be your cameraman tomorrow. You're really going to see some good action in that one tomorrow for sure. Hey, listen, thanks to the entire crew tonight. Excellent job. Thank you for joining us as well. Mount Vernon picks up the win 54-21.